Baxter Brian Smith reporting from Green and Gold News.
Lewin Rayner, also reporting from Green and Gold News. We have just been notified of a rather unusual creature that has been discovered.
We are here at Katitunda Lake Air Environmental Centre to talk to Ranger Elena about this intriguing creature.
Ranger Elena, thank you for talking with us today. Can you please tell us what this creature is?
Yes, the creature of interest is the water-holding frog. Interesting. So tell us where this frog is located and how does it exist? Come with me and I will show you. The water-hopping frog can be found at Katitunda Lake Air, the largest lake in Australia, which is located in the northeast of South Australia. When the rains are during the hot summer months, the water-holding frog, along with other insects, fish and amphibians, aestivate. Aestivate means they spend a long period of time in a state of dormancy below the ground, the opposite to hibernation in cold weather. When the rains arrive, the water-holding frog will dig itself to the surface to feed and take in water. Because of the hot desert conditions, the lake is ephemeral, meaning it only lasts a short period of time. Once the lake dries up, the water-holding frog burrows into the ground and aestivates until the next rains arrive, living from the water it has consumed. Fascinating stuff, Ranger Elena.
This is Lewin Rayner
And Baxter Brian Smith.
reporting from Green and Gold News. Ranger Elena, thank you for talking with us today.
Did you know the Aboriginal people of Australia tell stories about a mystical time known as Dreamtime? These stories help them remember old ways and explain mysterious events. They tell of ancient spirits that came to Earth. These spirits created plants, animals and landmarks. The tale of Tiddalik is one of these old stories. It is treasured by people around the world.
Once there were no mountains, no rivers, no animals, and no people. There was no sun, no rain, and no wind. There was only darkness. Then the dream time came to be, and wonderful things began to happen. The rainbow serpent came down from the sky and slid across the earth.
Mountains rose and valleys appeared. Rivers flowed and the earth was slowly covered. Trees, plants, flowers, animals appeared of them blown in by the wind. In those days, the earth was green and beautiful. There lived a giant frog named Tiddalik. He was bigger than the trees, he was bigger than the rocks, he was even bigger than the mountains. When Tiddalik was happy, everything was calm and peaceful. But when he was grumpy, the earth would tremble, rocks would fall, and winds would rage.
One morning, Tiddalik woke up in a very grumpy, greedy mood. He was so grumpy that when he went down to the lake to drink, he drank and drank until he drank all the water in the water. In the river, Tiddalik was so greedy that he kept drinking night and day. He drank all the water from the lakes and streams. The greedy frog drank so much that there wasn't a drop of water left in the whole world. Tiddalik was so full he could hardly move. All he could do was lie down, close his great yellow eyes and go to sleep. The land dried out and cracks appeared. The rivers turned to dust, the trees lost their leaves. The flowers did not bloom, the animals began to die. Nothing moved and there was no sound, there was no rain. The land suffered from terrible drought.
The animals cried, "We have nothing to drink, we have nothing to eat. There is no rain and no water. What can we do?" Wise Old Wombat said.
We need to talk with Tiddalik. We can ask him to give us back our water.
So one by one the animals went to Tiddalik. The animals argued who should approach him first. Kangaroo was the bravest, he said.
I will speak with Tiddalik. I am the jumping kangaroo. I cannot jump anymore because I am so weak. All I can do is lie in the dust of the dry riverbed. Please give us back our water.
I'm the wild dog who barks and howls at night. I cannot bark and howl anymore because I'm so weak. All I can do is lie in the dust of the dry riverbed. Please give us back our water. I'm the bird who laughs in the trees. I cannot laugh anymore because I am so weak. All I can do is perch on a dead branch of a dead tree. Please give us back our water.
I'm the bird with the brilliant white feathers and the bright yellow crest. I am very, very weak. My beautiful yellow crest is growing pale. Please give us back our water.
Tiddalik did not stir. He didn't even open one of his big yellow eyes. It seemed that the grumpy, greedy frog would be the only one to survive.
The animals were about to give up. It seems they would die in the dust. But then they heard a small voice. I have an idea. The animals looked around. There was little Bandicoot flapping his big rat ears. Maybe we can tickle him. Let's find a branch. So the animals struggled to their feet and gathered around the giant frog to see if they could make him laugh. First, they tried tickling him, but Tiddalik didn't seem impressed.
Kookaburra told some of his funny stories. Everyone laughed and laughed. But Tiddalik didn't. He didn't even blink. Next, Kangaroo and Emu jumped up and down, around and around. Everyone laughed and laughed. But Tiddalik didn't. He didn't even open one eye.
Lizard came down from a tree. She opened her frill and showed the animals her bright orange and red scales. Then she ran around and around on her hind legs. Everyone laughed and laughed. But Tiddalik didn't. He didn't even stir.
If you could see yourself, you would laugh until you cried.
The animals were sure they were doomed. Tiddalik would never laugh and they would never have water again.
It was Ill who had slithered up from a dry billabong. He began to dance. First, he moved slowly, but soon he danced faster and faster. He wriggled, twisted, and turned himself into strange shapes. Then he jumped under Tiddalik's tummy, spinning around like a tornado.
Tiddalik began to shiver. Tiddalik began to quiver. Tiddalik began to giggle. Tiddalik's giggle became gurgle. Tiddalik's gurgle became louder and louder until the earth trembled. Then all of a sudden, he burst out laughing. The animals ran as water gushed out of his mouth like a huge waterfall. Tiddalik laughed and laughed until every drop of water was out of his stomach.
The water filled the lakes, the ponds, the billabong, and the swamps. It filled the waterholes and rivers. New life came to earth. The whole world woke as if from deep sleep. Trees grew and flowers bloomed. Animals wandered through the grasses, birds flitted from tree to tree. Slowly the earth became beautiful again until it became just a little frog. And to this day, the Aboriginal people of Australia know that when they see little frogs filling themselves up with water and burying themselves in the ground, there will soon be a drought.